welcome to a very special homecoming edition of SportsZone here on ntTV. I'm your host, Robert C., joined now by Faith Geiger and Jordan Pryor. Welcome. I know this is your first homecoming first homecoming in general here at UNT. Are you guys excited?
Yeah, it's always exciting.
Very exciting.
Atmosphere is good. A lot of activities are going on. It's a good time.
Well, why don't we, real quick, before we kick it over to the actual activities, what has been y'all's favorite homecoming activities so far?
I like the bonfire. I've met a lot of new people. It's a lot of fun, you know. It's a new tradition for me personally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really it's the atmosphere. It gets you pumped up for the game and for the weekend, so it's a lot of fun.
Feel the heat physically
Literally,
and
yes.
metaphorically
Yes.
on Saturday for the game. Jordan, how about you?
For me personally, it was a yell like hell. I actually got to partake in one of the dances. I'm not a great dancer, but it was just a lot of fun. You get to be goofy on stage, so that was a lot of fun for me.
You have 3 more years to learn. By your senior year, hopefully you'll be able to step up with the best of them.
And be like center dancer or something, hopefully.
Well, we all can strive for greater things, can't we? I know we're not having any fun out here in this heat. Just kidding. Let's get down to business and talk about the game coming up. Now, anytime a team schedules a homecoming game, they like to get a team that they can beat. Last year, Portland State probably seemed like a good team to put on the schedule for a homecoming game. They were 3-9. They've already matched that win total this year, and they started off the season with a win against a D1 opponent, Washington State. Is it possible that North Texas is looking past the wrong team?
Absolutely. I mean, this game, homecoming is always a game you're set up to win. That's the point of it. In this instance, though, I'm not saying that they made the wrong choice in playing Portland State, but it's up in the air, you know?
Yeah.
I definitely think at the beginning of the season, whenever they were scheduling their games, they went, oh, hey, we'll take an FSC team or whatever. And they were thinking, hey, this is going to be kind of a cakewalk. We'll just be able to blow through this team. Fans are going to be excited because we're throwing up so many points. But this team, they've really improved from last year, and so far their defense is looking incredible, only giving up 17 points or less every game. So I'm just saying, against our offense, we might see some trouble going on. It might be a really close game.
You know, yeah, this season hasn't installed a lot of confidence. We're being outscored by almost 30 points a game. And the homecoming is supposed to be this morale builder. It's supposed to get you pumped up for the party going on, everything, all the fun. But this could have a real intense inverse effect if we were to lose to this FCS school. Guys, what does North Texas got to do? What should their focus be to get past Portland State this week and maybe get on the right track?
Definitely clock management. Through all the games that North Texas has played this year, they have not once had more possession on offense than the other team.
It's going to be tough this week against Portland State, a team that runs the football.
Yes. And so I think for us to be able to win, we have to be able to match that a little bit. We have to play a slower paced game. We need to make sure that our defense has plenty of time, because whenever our defense has time to rest on the sidelines, they play good. But whenever they're constantly being thrown out there and saying, hey, this turnover happened, you guys are back out there, congrats, you got 30 seconds of breather time. Yeah, you get tired, and it's not a good combination. And also, I think we need to worry passing-wise. If we do a lot of passing, we need to worry more about the short game. A lot of curl routes, a lot of crossing routes between slot receivers and stuff. We need to have a short game, so then whenever they play up, that's whenever we attack them with the deep ball.
Stretch run game through the air, in a sense. Faith, do you completely agree with that, or you kind of want to take it in a different direction?
I mean, I agree with that. I think the main thing going forward and the main thing that needs to be addressed are all the little mistakes. It's little mistakes that have led to big plays that the other teams have capitalized on. And that's what I'm scared that Portland State is going to do. They're going to completely take advantage of our fumbles that we can't recover, we don't ever force any interceptions or any fumbles ourselves, We have forced a total of 5 fumbles on the season, but we've also lost 5 fumbles on the season. So we're back at 0, not to mention the interceptions and the fact that I don't know that we have a couple this season. Our differential's in the negative. Whereas Portland State, you talked about time management, taking care of the football. They're +8 this season. They've had 5 fumble recoveries, and they've intercepted the ball 8 times, I think it was, this year.
That's definitely going to be a big issue. That's why I think we need to go with the short game, because obviously, judging by that stat, their corners can play, and we don't want to just be, throwing up balls for their corners just to pick them off, and what would be even worse is if they pick it off and run it back for a touchdown, and then now you have an even worse deficit to come back from.
This team not only turn the ball over, they force them. They also have a kicker who's 5 for 5 on the season with a long of 51. This is a team that when they get in a position, they're going to take advantage. They don't make mistakes, even if it's through the kicking game. Whereas UNT, they've made a lot of mistakes. There's been costly turnovers in the red zone. Think about SMU, and it's been decision making. But let's gear focus. Andrew McNulty, the quarterback position. What's his leash here? Because it's one thing to get beat out by Southern Miss, which I think was pretty bad, but then or Iowa, really good team in Iowa that's undefeated this year. But how bad does he have to go against Portland State before we start hearing more mumbles from the crowd? Well, from the crowd, it won't be mumbles; it'll be screaming at Coach McCarney for a potential switch there.
I definitely think that if he plays the way that he's continued playing, especially like in the SMU game, he did not do so hot. I definitely think that would put a lot of pressure on the coach to have to, even think about switching somebody, maybe try and practice, put a couple guys through the rotation, see who can play the best for that. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of pressure on McNulty for this game.
There's a lot of pressure on him, and I know that the fans would love to see somebody else be put in for a little while, change it up, see if he really is the issue. But I don't necessarily think that the coach is going to change it up right now. I think he has a little bit more slack on his leash, so to speak, than the fans think he does.
Yeah, I think because we don't know what's going on in practice, and I know Coach McCarney says, hey, DeMarcus Smith, who's the name that gets thrown out there, he doesn't know the playbook yet. He works around saying that, hey, man, this guy doesn't quite know everything that we're going to throw at him, and we don't necessarily trust him. We don't want to compound the amount of mistakes that might be made.
At the same time, football is more of a game of instinct. I mean, yes, it's very important to know your playbook in and out, but if you have a guy who in practice is outperforming, which I haven't gone, so I don't know specifically if he is outperforming, but if he is, you need to put him in. You need to give him a chance.
UNT's second teamers that he's going against out there on the practice squad than the first team of anyone else, and God knows that college football comes down to the quarterback position, so we're going to need something. I don't mean to get it all on McNulty. It's not all him, but it's the most important position out there. When we return, Kara Bullock will be joined by Travis Buckner for in-depth player analysis and players to watch. Stay tuned.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Ready or not, here I come.
Take time to be a dad today.
Daddy, I'm gonna find you.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
To SportsZone, to a special edition for homecoming. I'm here with Travis Buckner. We're going to get into some players that you should be watching this weekend. So Travis, give me your thoughts.
My biggest player to watch right now would be Andrew McNulty, just because the quarterback right now is the most important position, and it is homecoming, so it's obviously going to be a bigger game that you really want to win. And I feel like Andrew McNulty really needs to take on that leadership role that the quarterback needs to. Right now, he's got more interceptions than touchdowns, and every touchdown he's thrown so far has been to Carlos Harris. He's had 3 touchdowns to him, with 4 interceptions through 4 games. Now, for him to take that leadership role, I feel like he's going to need to make better decisions because obviously with 4 interceptions, you're not making very good decisions. So he's going to need to get out of the pocket every once in a while and tuck the ball and run, and also he's just going to need to throw the ball out of bounds. So I feel like for North Texas to have a good game this week, he's going to need to take on that role and have a really good game this week.
And who else? Who else do you think we need to watch as far as offense goes?
Like what I said, Carlos Harris. He's had every touchdown pass this year. Touchdown pass from Andrew McNulty. The only other touchdown pass, he actually threw the pass, so he wasn't able to receive it. And I feel like out of all the guys playing for North Texas right now, he's the one that's most capable of playing in the next level in the NFL. And he's had over 400 yards receiving, which is 300 more yards than anybody else on the team. So I feel like he needs to stay focused. He can't give in to the hype, knowing that he is the best receiver on the team right now. He just needs to stay calm, stay humble, and catch the ball whenever it comes to him.
Absolutely. Yeah, Carlos Harris is one of those guys that's going to be really important in this game and every other game for the rest of the season because it is his last season. But the guy that I'm focused on offense is Jeff Wilson. He, he's come, this is only his second game. This will be his third game this week. But he is going to be a big part, especially with this running game for UNT. He's rushed for a career high of 22 carries on 136 yards against Southern Miss. And he had the most, that was the most yards that in a game since Brandon Bird did it in 2013, and he had 251 yards, I believe. And here's a fun little fact: if he had enough games played and attempts to qualify, he would rank 3rd in CUSA and 31st nationally, averaging 105 yards rushing.
That's big news coming from North Texas.
It really is, and he's only a sophomore. He has 2 more years left here, but he can get to those holes and make plays. He can make cuts. He can juke defenders, and once he gets some space and O-line can set up some really good blocks for him, he's going to be in that open field and he's gone because he's fast, he's elusive, he's dynamic, he's agile. All of the good adjectives that you would give to a good running back. And he can break tackles, he can run right through defenders, and like I said, once he gets to that open field, he's gone because he's hard to catch. And along with him, Jimerson and Ivory, they add so much depth to that backfield. And UNC has always had a really good running game, but these 3 guys add so much depth, and they're just really good. They can wear down a defense with their skill set. And Wilson and Ivory are 2 talented backs, and they add some positives, going into the next couple seasons. But on the other side of the ball, I've got 2 guys, Keyshawn McClain and James Gray. Those guys, let's be honest, our defense right now isn't really productive. We're not, making plays on the ball, but these 2 guys make for some really good destruction for opposing teams. Keyshawn McClain, he leads the nation, averaging 8.8 solo tackles per game. He had a nation best with 14 solo tackles against Rice, and he's had back-to-back games with double-digit tackles with Iowa and Rice. But the thing is he's talented, he's consistent, and Coach Mack, he really speaks highly of him. He's a young guy, but a young playmaker and a heck of a ball player. The coaching staff is going to be looking to him to be a leader for North Texas in the coming years. He can get to the ball, he can read the offense well. And here's a little fun fact about him too. He played quarterback and safety in high school. And then let's talk about James Gray for a minute, because he's a transfer from Kentucky. And the defensive line coach, Kevin Patrick, says he has a strong work ethic, an unbelievable demeanor. From day one, he's competed to make an impact for the team. And James Gray says that, for himself, he's just motivated by the grind. He has 36 tackles on the season, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 pass breakups. And at his community college, he was an all-time record. He has an all-time record of 11 interceptions, and just like Keyshawn McClain, he can make plays on the ball. He knows where the ball is at all times. And these 2, they're one of the 2 pairs of teammates that rank among the top 6 tacklers in the nation. And James Gray is a junior, Keyshawn McClain is a sophomore. So they have a couple more years left here. And, I really look to them to be really good for this defense now and in future games and things like that.
I like that you said that, the defense, because defense is what wins games. Because if you have more turnovers than the other team, you're going to win the game.
Exactly. Well, you get more turnovers on defense, but offense also has to capitalize on those plays, and that's one of the things that the offense hasn't been doing. But when we come back, Joey Catalano is going to take you around the tailgate here at North Texas.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. Oh, and she even talks to it. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Thank you, Kara. I'm here outside Gate 4 of Apogee Stadium, here visiting all the Greek Life tailgates and seeing how each different fraternity and sororities kind of spend their day and prepare for Mean Green football. I'm here with Trey Perez, sophomore from St. Louis. And Trey, how is your tailgate different from all the other ones?
Our tailgate's really relaxed, really chill. We really want to support our football team out here. We're really out here just try to have a good time and then get ready for going to the game, yell really loud, cheer on our Mean Green football team. So hopefully we can pick up this W tonight against Portland State. So hopefully be a good game, score a lot of points, and we'll leave homecoming happy.
All right, so what kind of food do you guys have out here?
Usually go to a Mexican meat market. We get some fajitas out here. So we have tortillas, a little fajita meat, a little cheese, a little bit of salsa, and it's a little bit of Mexican, little Tex-Mex food for our tailgate.
All right, yeah, we don't want those burgers and dogs just like everyone usually has. All right, what did you want to say is different from last year's tailgates to this year's? How do you improve?
We improve by just basically our atmosphere. We're trying to get a generator out here right now for our music. We had music out here last year. We're trying to get our music back out here. Our food's going to be definitely really good. Basically, everybody's going to have full stomachs. Be not thirsty when they go into the game, so they can cheer really loudly.
All right, and I'll be right back, and I'm going to go grab a UNT alumni. All right, I was able to grab one of UNT alumni, Bill Harder. And Bill, how is tailgates different from when you went to school to now?
We didn't have tailgates when I was in school.
Okay, so that's a pretty big difference.
A lot of difference.
So what do you like about the atmosphere you see so far?
I've got fraternity brothers. I've got friends, other students that have gone to North Texas, and it's just fun to come back.
All right. And what are your predictions for the game today?
I hate to say. I'd love to see UNT win, but, it's hard to say.
All right. Well, we have a few views from alumni as well as students, and hopefully UNT can come out today with the W.
Thanks, Joey. The tailgating looks real fun, don't you think?
Oh, I love the feeling of homecoming. Send me a plate of that food, Joey.
All right, well, thanks for watching our special edition of SportsZone for homecoming. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at ntSZTV, and we'll see you next time.